If you're over 65, let me ask you something simple. When was the last time someone truly warned you about stroke? Not in a rushed pamphlet, not in a doctor's office filled with jargon, but honestly, clearly, from the heart? For most people, that conversation never happens. Not because people don't care, but because they don't know how urgent it really is. Every time you skip a glass of water, every time you add a little more salt, every morning you pour that second cup of coffee without a walk planned, you may be nudging your body closer to a silent danger. A stroke doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't wait for a perfect moment. It can happen while you're watching television, reading a book, or simply making toast. And when it strikes, the effects can change everything in an instant. But here is something hopeful, something empowering. Medical experts now agree that up to 80% of strokes are preventable. Yes, you read that right. Not slightly reduced, not possibly delayed. Preventable, and the steps you need to take aren't out of reach. They don't require fancy equipment, high-priced supplements, or complicated routines. They start in your home, with simple, consistent habits. This message is for every older adult who's ever felt overwhelmed by health advice. For every spouse who worries quietly, for every adult child who wishes they could do more for their parents, this isn't just a checklist, it's a mindset shift. It's about regaining control. Because when it comes to stroke, small daily choices have enormous consequences. Imagine this. Every morning you get up and choose what to eat, whether to walk, when to drink water, how long you sit. These moments don't feel important. They're routine. But over time, they either support your blood vessels or wear them down. They either keep your brain sharp or invite silent damage. And unlike heart attacks that often come with chest pain, strokes can be quiet. They can strike during sleep. They can show up first as a stumble, a slurred word, or a strange numbness in your hand. Too often, those signs are brushed off until it's too late. Here's why I care. Over the past 30 years, I've spoken to hundreds of men and women who thought they were doing fine until one morning, everything changed. One woman told me she had planned to visit her grandson's graduation. She went to bed feeling tired but fine. In the morning, she couldn't move the right side of her body. Her independence, her confidence, her plans, all paused. And yet, she had no warning, no pain, no clear sign. But what she did have was a lifestyle filled with little things she didn't realize mattered. Skipping walks, eating too much processed food, not checking her blood pressure, and most painfully, thinking it could never happen to her. You see, stroke doesn't pick favorites, but it does follow patterns. And the good news is, patterns can be changed. If we know what to look for, if we know what to change, we can fight back. The goal here is not to scare you, it's to awaken you. To help you understand that no matter your age, your past habits, or your current health, there is power in your hands. And that power starts with knowledge. What follows is not a lecture. It's a conversation, one that walks you through 9 everyday habits, each one grounded in science, each one proven to reduce your risk, and most importantly, each one possible, starting today. We'll talk about food, but not just what to avoid. You'll learn what to eat to calm inflammation and fuel your brain. We'll talk about movement, not intense workouts, but short walks that literally shift your blood chemistry. We'll talk about sleep, hydration, community, and even how to check your pulse at home. And if one habit speaks to you, start there. One habit can open the door to many. Because stroke prevention isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And it's never too late to begin. So take a deep breath. Sit comfortably. This isn't about fear. This is about clarity. About turning quiet risks into clear choices. Let's start walking the path together. Because your health, your mind, your independence, they matter, and you deserve every chance to protect them. Breakfast might seem like a small part of your day, but for those of us past 65, it's the first decision we make that either supports our brain and blood vessels or sets us up for silent damage. You see, after 65, our bodies become more sensitive to things like inflammation, blood pressure shifts, and changes in blood sugar. And all three of those are major stroke risk factors. That means your breakfast isn't just about energy. It's your first chance of the day to protect your arteries. Many people think they're making good choices in the morning. They grab a bowl of cereal, maybe a flavored yogurt, or a glass of juice. But here's the problem. Those foods are often loaded with hidden sugars and lack the kind of nutrients that actually support vascular health. What you need are foods that lower inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, and keep blood flowing smoothly through your brain. That starts with 3 types of nutrients. Most older adults don't get enough of healthy fats, antioxidants, and fiber. Let's talk about healthy fats first. Omega-3 fatty acids are your friend. They calm inflammation and support your brain's structure. You can find them in simple foods like chia seeds, ground flaxseed, and walnuts. Just a spoonful of chia seeds gives your body more anti-inflammatory power than a piece of salmon. That's a small scoop with a big impact. Next, let's bring in the berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, they're more than sweet treats. They contain compounds called anthocyanins that help protect your artery walls from damage. Studies have shown that people who eat berries at least 3 times a week have a much lower risk of stroke and heart problems. The color in those berries isn't just pretty. It's powerful medicine for your blood vessels. Then, there's fiber. And not just any fiber, but the kind found in old-fashioned oats or steel-cut oats. These grains help pull bad cholesterol out of your bloodstream. They also slow down how fast sugar enters your system. That means more stable energy and less inflammation. A simple breakfast that brings all of this together might look like this: half a cup of cooked oats, topped with sliced banana, a handful of berries, a tablespoon of chia seeds, and a few walnuts. Maybe a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt if you like. That's not just a meal. That's protection in a bowl. Now here's the warning. Skip the instant packets. Many contain 12 to 16 grams of added sugar. That's 4 teaspoons before you even start your day. Sugar in the morning spikes your blood glucose, crashes your energy, and lights a fire of inflammation in your arteries. And processed meats like bacon or sausage, they bring sodium and nitrates that stiffen blood vessels and increase blood pressure. Even fruit juice can be tricky. Without the fiber from whole fruit, that sugar rush goes straight to your bloodstream. 1 cup of orange juice can have as much sugar as a soda. So what's the takeaway? Breakfast matters. It sets the tone for your blood pressure, your brain function, and your overall stroke risk. And it's not about cutting everything out. It's about choosing foods that heal instead of harm. Start your day with that mindset, and you're already taking a powerful step to protect your future. Most people think of food and exercise when they hear the word stroke prevention. But let me tell you something few people talk about. What you drink and what you don't drink can be just as important as what's on your plate, especially as we age. After 65, your body becomes less efficient at signaling thirst. You may not feel thirsty, but your blood still needs water to flow smoothly and carry oxygen to your brain. Here's the science. When you're mildly dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker. Thicker blood doesn't move as easily through your arteries. That means your heart has to work harder. Your blood pressure goes up. And most dangerously, thick blood is more likely to clot. And a clot in the wrong place, like your brain, is exactly what causes a stroke. In fact, research has found that over 60% of patients who arrived at the hospital with a stroke were dehydrated when they got there. Let that sink in. Dehydration isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. So what can you do? Start with a simple habit. Keep a glass or bottle of water near you all day. Sip regularly. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Aim for 6 to 8 cups a day. If you live in a warm climate or are active, drink more. Make hydration part of your routine. A glass when you wake up. 1 before each meal, 1 in the afternoon, and maybe a cup of herbal tea before bed. But here's the twist. Staying hydrated isn't just about drinking water. It's also about avoiding things that pull water out of your system. And one of the biggest culprits is refined sugar. Yes, sugar. Not just in cakes and cookies, but in places you'd never expect. Bottled teas, salad dressings, breakfast bars, even things labeled healthy. When you consume sugar, your body works hard to balance it. One way it does that is by pulling water from your tissues into your bloodstream. That makes you more dehydrated. And sugar doesn't just steal your water. It also lights up inflammation throughout your body. It raises your blood pressure. It damages the lining of your arteries. And over time, it makes your blood vessels more brittle, more clogged, and more dangerous. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 24 grams of added sugar per day for women and 36 grams for men. But the average person eats far more. One flavored yogurt can have 20 grams, a can of soda nearly 40. Even a granola bar might contain half your daily limit. So what's the solution? Start simple. Choose whole fruits over fruit juice. An apple, banana, or a handful of berries gives you natural sweetness, plus fiber to slow down sugar absorption. If you're craving flavor in your water, add lemon, mint, or cucumber slices. Try herbal teas like chamomile or rooibos, which soothe your system instead of stressing it. Hydration and sugar might seem like small things, but they create a ripple effect through your whole body. They influence your blood pressure, your energy, your brain function, and your stroke risk. And the best part? You can control them. No prescription required. Just awareness and a few small changes. You don't need a gym membership or fancy shoes. You don't even need to leave your house. What you do need is 10 minutes and the willingness to take a few steps after each meal. That's it. 10 minutes. 3 times a day. And the results? They can shift your health in ways most people never imagine. Here's what happens after you eat, especially a meal with carbohydrates. Your blood sugar naturally rises. That's normal. But as we age, the peaks are often higher and last longer. That's not just a numbers game. Prolonged high blood sugar creates inflammation. It damages blood vessels. It puts extra pressure on your heart. And over time, it silently increases your risk of stroke. Now here's the remarkable part. A gentle walk right after a meal can reduce that post-meal blood sugar spike by more than 20%. Why? Because your muscles are using that sugar right away for movement. Instead of letting it sit in your bloodstream, your body puts it to work. That small change in timing transforms a regular walk into a powerful medical tool. And the benefits don't stop there. Walking improves circulation. It helps lower your blood pressure. It clears your mind. It reduces that heavy, tired feeling after eating. And it helps maintain a healthy weight, which is one of the strongest protections against stroke. Now let's talk about how this looks in real life. You finish breakfast. Instead of sitting down to read or check your phone, you stand up and start moving. You walk slowly around your kitchen, your living room, maybe step out to the porch. After lunch, maybe you water the garden or walk the hallway back and forth. After dinner, instead of going straight to the couch, take a lap around your yard, or even tidy up the dishes while moving your feet. The key isn't intensity, it's consistency. You don't need to sweat. You don't need to track steps. You just need to move your body. 10 minutes of gentle movement signals to your system that digestion is happening. That circulation is needed. That sugar should be used, not stored. And there's one more reason this matters. The hours after dinner are when most people are the least active. You eat, you sit, maybe watch a show, then go to bed. That routine allows blood sugar to stay high longer, especially overnight. That increases stress on your blood vessels during the very hours your body should be recovering. But just a short walk can break that cycle. You can make it social. Walk with your spouse. Call a friend while you move. If the weather is bad, walk indoors. What matters most is not the scenery. It's the movement. This is one of those rare habits that requires no equipment, no appointments, and delivers immediate benefits. You'll feel the difference. Your legs loosen. Your head feels clearer. Your energy more steady. So let this be your new routine. Breakfast, walk. Lunch, walk. Dinner, walk. It's simple, it's free, and it works. Salt sits quietly in your kitchen. It flavors your food, brings life to your meals, and hides in almost everything you eat. But for those of us over 65, salt can also be a silent threat. Not because salt is evil, but because most of us are getting far more of it than we realize. And that excess builds up. It raises your blood pressure, stiffens your arteries, and increases your risk of stroke every single day. Let's start with what the numbers tell us. The American Heart Association recommends that older adults limit their sodium to about 1,500 milligrams per day. That's a little more than half a teaspoon. But the average person gets over 3,400 milligrams daily. That's more than double. And here's the tricky part. Most of that salt doesn't come from your salt shaker. It comes from processed foods, from restaurant meals, from canned soups, salad dressings, frozen dinners, even so-called healthy snacks. Bread, cereal, deli meats, sauces, they all add up. You may say, I don't add much salt when I cook. But if you're eating packaged food, dining out, or reaching for frozen meals, you're likely consuming much more than you think. And that salt is not harmless. Excess sodium causes your body to hold on to water. That increases the volume of blood in your arteries, putting extra pressure on their walls. Over time, those walls become less flexible. That stiffness, that constant strain, is a direct path to high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is the #1 controllable risk factor for stroke. So how do we fight back without giving up flavor? It starts with awareness. Learn to read labels. Look for sodium content. Aim for products with less than 140 milligrams of sodium per serving. Cook more at home. When you cook from scratch, you control what goes in your food. And use herbs and spices to replace salt. Garlic, rosemary, thyme, basil, oregano. These aren't just flavor boosters. They're rich in plant compounds that support heart health. Try using lemon juice or apple cider vinegar to brighten dishes. Their acidity enhances flavor, helping you need less salt. And don't forget about olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is more than a healthy fat. It contains compounds that lower inflammation and support healthy blood pressure. It makes vegetables taste better, roasted potatoes richer, and keeps your meals satisfying. Let me give you a quick example. Take roasted potatoes. Most people toss them with vegetable oil and salt. But what if you switch it up? Use olive oil, minced garlic, fresh rosemary, maybe a touch of turmeric for color and health benefits, a splash of lemon juice at the end. Suddenly you've cut the sodium by over 80%, while making the dish even more flavorful. Your taste buds will adjust. It takes just a couple of weeks. What tastes bland at first will become your new normal. And remember, this isn't about deprivation. It's about retraining your senses to love what keeps your body strong. Cutting salt is one of the simplest, most effective ways to lower your stroke risk. And you can do it without sacrificing enjoyment. With every bite, you have a choice. Choose wisely, and your arteries will thank you. We all know that sleep matters. But for older adults, sleep does more than just rest the body. It regulates blood pressure, balances hormones, supports brain function, and gives your blood vessels a chance to recover. And when sleep is disrupted, especially night after night, it quietly increases your stroke risk. not with a loud warning, but with a slow, silent buildup of stress inside your system. As we age, sleep becomes more fragile. You may wake more often, sleep more lightly, or struggle to fall asleep at all. Many people brush it off as part of getting older. But here's the truth. Inconsistent sleep throws off your internal rhythm. It raises nighttime blood pressure, increases stress hormones like cortisol, and disrupts how your body processes sugar. All of these are risk factors for stroke. A major study followed over 30,000 adults for nearly 10 years. It found that those with irregular sleep schedules had a 22% higher risk of stroke, even if they slept the same number of hours. So, it's not just about getting enough sleep. It's about going to bed and waking up at the same time each day. That consistency protects your heart and brain more than you might imagine. Now let's talk about something that seems harmless but isn't caffeine. Caffeine stays in your system far longer than most people realize. If you drink coffee at 3 in the afternoon, it may still be active in your body at 10 at night. That can delay sleep, reduce deep sleep, and keep your blood pressure higher overnight. And as we age, our bodies process caffeine more slowly. The cup that didn't bother you in your 40s might keep you up in your 70s. So what's the rule? Avoid caffeine after 2 in the afternoon. That includes not just coffee, but green tea, black tea, and even some sodas or chocolate. If you love a warm drink in the evening, switch to herbal teas. Chamomile is soothing and gentle. Rooibos is naturally sweet and caffeine-free. Lemon balm and passion flower have long histories as natural sleep supporters. And don't forget the basics. Dim your lights an hour before bed. Turn off screens. Read a calming book. Listen to soft music. Let your body wind down without resistance. Your bedroom should be cool, quiet, and as dark as possible. And if you wake up during the night, don't panic. Lie still, breathe deeply, and let sleep return naturally. Sleep is one of the most underestimated medicines we have. It costs nothing, requires no prescription, and improves almost every aspect of health. When you give your body true rest, your brain clears waste, your blood pressure resets, and your entire cardiovascular system finds its balance again. So tonight, protect your brain by turning off the lights a little earlier. Skip the late coffee. Create a rhythm that your body can count on. Because stroke prevention doesn't stop when the day ends. It continues, quietly, while you sleep. You can't always see it. You might not feel it. But inside your chest, your heart's rhythm may be sending you a message. A quiet irregularity, a missed beat, a flutter. And for too many people over 65, that small change goes unnoticed until something much bigger happens. One of the most overlooked risk factors for stroke is not blood pressure or cholesterol. It's an irregular heartbeat known as atrial fibrillation. Atrial fibrillation, or AFib, happens when the upper chambers of your heart beat out of sync with the lower ones. The result is a rhythm that's unsteady. Not the steady thump-thump you're used to, but something more like flutter-pause-flutter, or thump-thump-pause-thump. And when your heart doesn't beat in a coordinated way, blood can pool inside. That stagnant blood can form a clot. If that clot travels to your brain, the result is a stroke. Here's what's especially concerning. AFib increases stroke risk by 5 times. Yes, 5. And many people with AFib have no symptoms. None. They feel fine. Until they don't. That's why this habit is so important. Learn to check your pulse. You don't need machines or apps. You need a minute of quiet and your own 2 fingers. Sit calmly. Place your index and middle finger on your wrist, just below the base of your thumb. Feel the pulse. Is it steady or erratic? Count the beats for 15 seconds. Multiply by 4. That gives you your heart rate. But more important than the number is the rhythm. Is it regular? Or does it feel off? You might feel a fluttering in your chest, shortness of breath, especially during light activity, unexplained fatigue, dizziness, a strange, nervous feeling. If any of these happen, don't ignore them. Call your doctor. Ask for a simple ECG test. It only takes a few minutes, but it could reveal a rhythm problem that needs attention. And here's the hope. AFib is manageable. If caught early, doctors can prescribe medication to control your rhythm or prevent clots. Some people benefit from procedures that restore a normal heartbeat. Others may need a pacemaker. But the point is, you have options. The danger comes when the condition goes undetected. Nearly 1 in 10 people over age 80 have AFib. Many don't know it. But you can be different. You can listen to your body. You can check your pulse once a day for a week. Get to know you're normal. Make notes if you notice changes. If something feels strange, don't wait. Early detection is powerful. It puts control back in your hands. Sometimes, stroke prevention starts not with medicine or diet, but with awareness. With a moment of quiet attention. So take that minute today. Place your fingers on your wrist. Breathe deeply. Listen to the rhythm within. Your heart may be telling you more than you think. There's a moment we all face, usually around mid-afternoon or early evening. You're tired, maybe a little hungry. You open the fridge or pantry, and the easiest thing grabs your attention. A salty snack, a frozen dinner, something quick and comforting. But quick comfort often comes with a price-high sodium, added sugar, or hidden fats. And these ingredients, repeated day after day, build up. They slowly raise your blood pressure, wear down your arteries, and raise your stroke risk. But what if, instead of scrambling at the last minute, you had nourishing options already waiting for you, ready to eat, full of flavor, and built to support your heart and brain? That's the power of meal prep. It's not about strict dieting. It's about removing decision fatigue, about making healthy choices the easiest ones. When you prepare in advance, you don't have to guess. You don't have to argue with yourself. You just open the fridge and grab what your future self already picked wisely. Let's talk strategy. Start with simple containers. Fill them with balanced, brain-friendly ingredients. One easy option is fruit and nut cups. Slice up apples or pears. Add a handful of berries. Sprinkle in some walnuts or almonds. A dash of cinnamon. Store them in clear containers at eye level. That way, when your energy dips, a fiber-rich, anti-inflammatory snack is ready and waiting. Another great option is overnight oats. In a small jar, combine rolled oats, chia seeds, unsweetened almond milk, and a few frozen berries. Let it sit overnight. In the morning, you've got a breakfast that fuels your mind, supports digestion, and keeps blood sugar steady. Not a fan of sweet foods? No problem. Try prepping savory bowls. Cook a batch of quinoa. Roast some vegetables. Add olive oil and lemon juice. Or keep hard-boiled eggs ready, along with sliced avocado and cherry tomatoes. These meals aren't just good for you, they taste good too. And they're fast. When hunger hits, they're already made. Keep a running grocery list on your fridge. Every time you run low on a healthy item, jot it down. That way, when it's time to shop, you're not guessing. You're building a system that protects your health one choice at a time. Because here's the truth. When you're prepared, you make fewer mistakes. You eat more consistently. You avoid the traps of fast food or sodium-heavy frozen meals. And every balanced meal keeps your blood vessels just a little more elastic, keeps your pressure just a little more stable, keeps your brain just a little sharper. Stroke prevention isn't always about big decisions. Sometimes it's about planning ahead, just enough, to make the next step easy. That's what this habit offers. Simplicity, clarity, and daily protection, one container at a time. We talk a lot about food, movement, sleep, and numbers when it comes to health. But there's one factor most people don't think about. One that doesn't come with a prescription or a nutrition label. One that lives quietly in your heart and your calendar. It's your relationships, your social world, your sense of belonging. And for people over 65, this might be one of the most powerful forms of stroke prevention we have. Loneliness is more than a feeling. It changes your body. It raises your stress hormones. It increases inflammation. It can lead to poor sleep, unhealthy eating, and less physical activity. And research shows that social isolation raises stroke risk by more than 30%. That's not a small number. It's a call to pay attention. As we age, it gets easier to slip into solitude. Friends move away. Family gets busy. Mobility becomes a barrier. But connection is not about how many people you know. It's about the quality of the support you feel. About whether someone knows how your day went. Whether someone checks in when you miss a walk or a class. Let me tell you a story. A woman named Eleanor, 72 years old, had a mini stroke. Her doctor told her she needed to walk more, manage her blood pressure, stay active. But she lived alone. She didn't drive. She was afraid to go out by herself. Then she joined a local senior center's walking group. The first few weeks, she stayed quiet. But over time, she made a friend named Mary. They began walking together, calling each other, encouraging each other to stay on track. 2 years later, Eleanor's blood pressure is stable, her energy is better, and her outlook has changed. Social connection works in subtle, powerful ways. It gives purpose, accountability, joy, and all of those reduce the physical strain on your body. So where can you begin? Start small. Join a walking group or a gentle yoga class. Volunteer once a week. Check out your community center. If you can't go out easily, connect online. There are groups for older adults focused on health, hobbies, even just conversation. Even a phone call can change your day. Reaching out doesn't mean weakness. It means strength. It means you're choosing to protect not just your heart, but your spirit. Because the opposite of isolation isn't just company. It's resilience. And people who feel supported live longer, recover better, and stay sharper. Stroke prevention is not only about your body, it's about your life, your rhythm, your laughter. The feeling that someone, somewhere, is walking this path with you. So reach out, say yes, make a plan. Not someday, today. Because connection might be the most powerful medicine you didn't know you needed. Think about your car. You wouldn't drive it for years without checking the oil, tire pressure, or engine light. Your body is no different. Especially after 65, regular health checkups become your most powerful tool for early detection and prevention. They're your early warning system, helping you catch small issues before they turn into emergencies. What numbers should you track? Blood pressure tops the list. Aim for under 130 over 80 millimeters of mercury. Know your resting heart rate and watch for irregular rhythms. Keep an eye on cholesterol, especially LDL, the bad cholesterol. Monitor blood sugar levels, even if you're not diabetic. A rising blood sugar can silently increase stroke risk. Measure your waistline. A large waist is linked to metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that raise heart and stroke risk. If you've experienced heart rhythm issues, track symptoms like palpitations, dizziness, or unexplained fatigue. Keep a simple health journal. Write down your readings, energy levels, sleep quality, any unusual symptoms. This log becomes a powerful conversation starter with your doctor. It helps them see patterns and make more personalized decisions. Don't forget your eyes, mouth, and gut. Vision changes might be an early stroke warning. Gum disease links to artery inflammation. Digestive issues can impair absorption of key nutrients, like B vitamins, crucial for brain health. Don't delay dental visits or eye exams. Mention digestive changes to your doctor. These areas matter too. Regular checkups are not about fear. They're about control, about peace of mind. They empower you to act before problems grow. And the best part? This habit takes just 5 minutes a week, but offers protection every day. By tracking, you create a partnership with your health. You move from guessing to knowing, from reacting to preventing, from fear to confidence. So make a plan. Set a weekly reminder. Write it down. Because your health is your most important asset. And every number you watch, every symptom you note, every appointment you keep, brings you closer to a longer, healthier life. Stroke prevention isn't a single act. It's a lifestyle. A series of small choices, consistent habits, and mindful actions. And when you commit to tracking your health, you're choosing hope. You're choosing control. You're choosing your future.